This is a story about gods and mortals, about power and the things we will do, the sacrifices we will make to obtain it, about the whispering echoes that persist as we dream, as we wake, as we do all in our power to ignore them, while they urge us towards darker and darker deeds, with the promise of eventual rewards. So have a seat and listen as we teach you to play Cult. Welcome, Misfits, to... Oh God. One moment.
Oh god. Sorry about that. Lump in the throat. Welcome, Misfits, to the Mischievous Cult tutorial. It's Initiation Day, new recruits, and if you're not ready for cult life now, then you will be by the time we're done with you. Thank you. So, let's get started then, shall we? First thing, as always, is the game board. So let's take this off. Where's the game board? Minion!
Coming, Master!
Do you have the game board?
Right here, Master!
In your voices!
Toning it down, Master.
Go away.
Going away, Master!
Good help is so hard to find these days.
Swipe left on Tinder, Master!
Speaking of, once you place the board flat on the table, separately shuffle the License, Miracle, and Intrigue decks and place them on their respective spots on the board. Then draw 3 cards from the License deck and place them on the spots around it. Then cackle with glee as you see the doomed tidings of the districts that will please your godly employers. Moving on, each player chooses a color and takes a patriarch. 3 priest tokens, 1 of each strength, 1, 2, and 3, and 2 followers of that color, as well as 5 coins. All other tokens go into the reserve. And finally, we come to the fun part, picking your deity. You can do this either randomly or by letting each player choose on their own. Like choosing your colors, it's all preference in how you choose your deities. However, each god has their unique abilities, so choose wisely, lest your choice in god leads you down a disastrous path. Once all deities have been chosen, place them in front of you, light side up. The player whose deity has the highest divine might, as shown in the upper right hand corner, goes first. And that's it for setup. Easy, right?
Even I can do it, Master!
Right, even you can do it, Gregor. Rounds are made up of 2 phases, the intention phase and the resolution phase. The intention phase has 2 steps. Preaching, which is when you're more active around the game board, and praying, which is the end step of the intention phase. When you preach...
Brothers and sisters, have you heard the good word? The good word of a hentai today? Of the hoes filled with love and lusty liaisons. Of sexy circles and sexier circles. And brothers and sisters, my question for you today is, why can't we have this?
No! Call police, you're under arrest for blasphemy!
You can never keep me
Shut the fuck up! Shut the fuck up!
Take a free priest, one that belongs to you and is next to your cult sheet, and place it on a location on the game board, keeping in mind you are limited to locations depending on the number of followers you have, which is also the power of your most powerful priest, the Patriarch. Once this is done, the turn passes to the next player. During a round, the first 3 priests you place cost nothing. Any more than that will require you to sacrifice each follower by placing it back in the reserve pool. Preaching is not mandatory, as you can always skip to the second step, praying.
Please, Field Masters, please! I have heard the good word of the sexy circles and the sexier circles. Please fill my orifices with love while I sleep, Field Masters. Please! Amen.
No! How many bastards are you right now? Jesus Christ! Ah!
There are a few advantages to praying. For one, you automatically gain a benefit from a location depending on the number of fanatical mobs you have. Secondly, you can make any number of deals, like selling 1 or more intrigue cards by putting them at the bottom of the deck, or buying 1 or more face-up license cards. And after the last player has prayed, the intention phase is over and players can move on to the resolution phase. During the resolution phase, resolve each location that has priest or an altar on it in numerical order. Starting with the first player, any player, even one not present in the location, may either play a miracle or intrigue card from their hand or use a cult ability to sue whatever machinations they have planned. Then the player with the highest influence in the active location wins. In case of a tie, the person with the highest divine might wins, and all others get to collect alms for their pitiful performance. After each location is resolved, priests are removed from that location and can be used for cult abilities in further locations. And once all have been resolved, check if any player has achieved any of the victory conditions. If not, replenish any empty spots in the license cards area, move all priests on cult sheets back next to their sheets, and pass the first player token to the player who won at the highest numbered location, and start a new round with the intention phase. Now finally, let's go over a few of the less straightforward and more important locations and card symbols. The winner in the Thieves Guild can pay between 3 and 12 coins to become the winner in the location equal to that amount of coins, which is a great way to get a sneaky win on someone.
It's the worst. It gets me every time, Master.
Case in point, winning at the forum gets you control of the Supremacy card, which gives your Patriarch +7 to his power. And at the start of the intention phase, before placing any priests, you may skip your whole turn that round to get one of the effects on that card, or you can discard it and return it to the reserve to activate your cult abilities. The next important location is the Artisan District, which lets you build an altar on a location currently occupied by one of your priests if you win. You can't have more than 1 altar in a location at any time, 1 per player, and they can only be built in locations 7 to 13, unless a card otherwise specifies. You can also lose a priest, flipping it over to create an altar, but altars are worth 4 power each and give you a permanent presence in a location, unless destroyed by a card effect. If you ever have 5 altars across locations at the end of a round, you win. At the guard quarters, you can sacrifice followers to get fanatical mobs, 1 at a time. And if you have 4 fanatical mobs at the end of a round, you win. At the Rift of Darkness, if you win and have enough influence equal to your deity's divine power, you can flip your deity from light side to dark side, which gives you different abilities and also enables you to use intrigue cards that have a dark seal at the top left corner, which you could otherwise only ever sell for gold. If you're able to succeed at the ritual twice, you win the game! And that's how you play cult. Good luck controlling your followers.
Are you called, Master?
Get fucking out of here.
Yes, Master, yes.
And controlling them well as you attempt to bring your god to the mortal realm and raise them in fire and brimstone. Because isn't that what we all want? See you all next time, Misfits. If there is a next time. Bye.